At the turn of the century, Boston found itself becoming a city of immigrants. South Boston, in particular, was one of the city's poorest districts, with a large population of immigrants. It was here that Olivia Buckminster James, a niece of the prominent Boston Brahmin Henry Cabot Lodge Sr., helped found the South Boston Neighborhood House, one of the city's longest-standing settlement houses. Since its beginnings in 1901, the Neighborhood House has followed the settlement house movement's most fundamental concept, that the family is the most important unit in society, and that the neighborhood provides the setting in which individuals must ultimately play out their role as members of society. Working with limited resources and a tremendous amount of help from those she wished to serve, Olivia James soon created citizenship classes, the first school-age child care program, and evening cooking classes for mothers and teens. In short, the house became a focus for organizing activities and services with and for its surrounding neighbors. The Neighborhood House, or the Ollie as it has come to be known, has continued this vital tradition of helping a community help itself through war and peace, economic prosperity, and depression. The South Boston Neighborhood House has stood tall and proud as its large family grew even larger, and the neighborhood, which so many years ago had been in disarray, began to realize the potential of its citizens and the power of the family to initiate positive change. Today, the Neighborhood House is celebrating its 9th decade of helping South Bostonians realize better lives. Through the years, the house has never abandoned its settlement house values and continues in its openness for trying new methods to address community problems and to help people find ways to help themselves. The programs it runs to help accomplish this are as innovative and wide-reaching today as were the programs Olivia James introduced over 90 years ago. Its dedicated staff is from the community. Children's services, such as daycare, after-school programs, morning play groups, and summer day camp provide needed support to parents trying to raise their families in a complex and ever-changing society. Teen programs that offer young adults such services as tutoring, part-time employment, and other educational and cultural activities flourish at the Neighborhood House. The goal is to provide a new generation of South Boston youth with the abilities to obtain the education and skills required for employment in a radically changing job market. A large family network supports parenting groups, substance abuse, and prevention programs and outreach to new families geared toward building better families. In the last 20 years, hundreds of adults have realized their dream of basic education or high school equivalency degree through classes provided by the house. Many of those same people have gone on to acquire full-time employment through the Neighborhood House's vocational counseling and referral program, thereby creating a more stable home environment in which to raise their families. A wide-reaching education is important at all ages, and the Arts Academy and reading services at the house have encouraged families to find an appreciation for cultural activities and helped develop community partnerships, as well as a renewed interest in promoting the arts in South Boston. Through the reading programs, families are encouraged to read together as a way of strengthening the family and broadening the skills and imagination of their children. And in the tradition of caring for all the members of the community, the house maintains an active senior presence with programs that offer a variety of activities for older adults, such as information and referral services, shopping assistance, and daily lunch. Self-named the Jet Set, they help organize activities for over 300 seniors, most of who are women. All of these unique and effective programs illustrate the Neighborhood House's tradition of family and a community helping itself. The services are provided in a way that strengthens the positive influences and social interaction of the community. The care and attention is a symbol of the desire to make South Boston a better place for all residents. What makes the Neighborhood House so effective in accomplishing its mission is the very thing it seeks to enhance every day: the community. Hundreds of volunteers, concerned residents, and private contributors are working throughout each year to make the goals of the Neighborhood House come to fruition. The annual Ollie Road Race in which thousands of runners have made their way through the streets of South Boston since 1941, is a yearly example of this community spirit. Since its inception, volunteers of all ages and abilities have worked hard to make this event a unique family tradition. And while the road race is certainly indicative of South Boston's commitment to individual volunteerism, the recent community barn raising of the new senior center for the Jet Set is an overwhelming tribute to the collective effort of all the neighborhood's facets, business and labor, rich and poor, old and young. On June 29, 1996, on a bright sunny morning, hundreds of volunteer working men and women from the various building and trade unions in Greater Boston gathered to construct a new senior center to provide older South Bostonians a safe, convenient, and modern facility in which to gather and organize activities and events. Using hundreds of thousands of dollars in donated building material and in-kind labor, the walls and roof of the senior center were erected in the span of one day. As scores of seniors, children, and volunteers gathered below to watch, elaborate, and thank everyone for the opportunity to be part of such a wonderful expression of caring and family. At the day's end, the work having been completed, there stood a monument to commitment to our seniors, to our neighborhood, and to our family, and ultimately to ourselves. Within a few months, the official ribbon-cutting ceremony took place. The needs may change, but the mission of the neighborhood house will remain constant, supporting family and neighborhood life in South Boston. The neighborhood house has never relied heavily on government funding. It depends on the generosity of private and corporate citizens who appreciate what their contribution can accomplish. Many companies realize the benefit to themselves of establishing a stable workforce with strong families. Future contributions will ensure that this important work continues and that far-reaching benefits will remain constant. Working together with the community for over 90 years, the neighborhood house has never wavered from its settlement house roots. As we move into the 21st century, the faces of the children the house serves will continue to inspire hard work and dedication, emulating the tradition of past generations who realized long ago the power and the strength of family, the community, and the heart.